everyone, Rick9G here. I have a sealed box of pennies. These are $25 worth of pennies. Each roll is 50 cents. So if you multiply them together, it's 50 rolls. So let's see, 50 times 50, that's 2,500 pennies. Never been opened, as you can see, other than where the coin delivery brought it from. Let's just get right to it. Now, I've done a box before of nickels. I'm expecting a box of pennies to be more exciting, more cool, and you may ask why. I'll just zoom it in a little bit. Well, because there's a lot more variety in pennies, believe it or not. The reason is because pennies go back. Pennies go back all the way, the Lincoln pennies at least, to 1909. And then when we talk about, just get everything in order, when we talk about even Indian head pennies, those go back to, let's see, when is that? Like 1904. So basically before 09. And so even into the 1800s. And so they were the same size. So it's really an economical type thing. Pennies are not expensive, obviously. They're easy to look through, and they're usually readily available. But they could be pennies worth a few bucks. Pennies worth tens of dollars, $25, $50. There's pennies worth a few $100, and then pennies worth over $10,000. There's just a wide variety, so I'm excited to show them to you. A lot of stuff on the pennies are errors, believe it or not, and these errors, you can see them through the microscope. So maybe in the future, I can show you those errors. I have a microscope here right next to me, and that'll help me just find certain things. If I happen to find something, I can include the microscopic images in the video later, so don't worry about that. Okay, I won't leave you out. So let's get right to it. I have 5 rolls here. Remember, 50 rolls, and I'm just chilling. I'm relaxing. I am also drinking some barley tea, so let's get right to it. And I'll point out things as I see them. New pennies. What is this? 2019. And then these are the ones with the shield. So I just want to familiarize yourself with the rear shield or the reverse shield. These here. And then I want to show you the normal ones that we're used to, or at least the Lincoln Memorial on the back. So for these, of course, certain dates are important. I'm just kind of focusing my microscope here, set it to penny, so that I could just stick pennies under there and see what we got. So my goal is to get wheat pennies, which are basically anything before let me double check here, 1959. So 59 is not a wheat penny, 58 is. I have my notes here and everything, so let's just get right to it. I'll get into my usual flow. And what's great is, okay, look at this, our first old penny. This is a 1959 Denver, but there's no wheat back. So I'm just going to put that aside. And then when we do find a wheat penny, I can show you the difference. This is an actual copper penny, 65. 65 was actual copper. These aren't copper anymore. They're just basically bathed in copper, the new ones. The old ones are copper. And there's even bronze. So yeah, so let's continue. Let's see. I mean, for me, pennies is probably the most exciting to look through because there's the most type of variety, I would say. The most type of different things that you can find. It's almost overwhelming, all the different errors and unique pennies that you can find. And so that makes it fun to me. So pennies are fun. They can get a little monotonous because of the color. I guess silver could be a monotonous color, but I mean, like, it's nice to switch them off. That's why I always like to switch currency. You know, oh, here we go, our first wheat penny. See, I told you we would find something. So it's a 51S, actually, a San Francisco 51. And these are the wheat stalks. I'll show it to you so you can actually see. You see the wheat stalks on the double sides? So that's why they call it a wheat cent. Oh, there we go. That looks beautiful. So yeah, our goal is to find those. I'll put that one aside. I'll actually look up value as well. So 51S, they only made 136 million. That's still quite a bit. It's worth about $3, believe it or not. Just because of the fact of the age And so other pennies that made 300 million, 99 million, that one is a 47S. So the S's are usually a little more rare. And yeah, let's just see. Also, I'm drinking barley tea. I don't know if I mentioned that. I might have. I don't know if any of you are fans of that. If any of you love coffee, I'm not a coffee guy, but barley tea is a really good alternative. It actually tastes like coffee because the beans are roasted. The barley kernels, that is, are roasted. And so it tastes like coffee. There's no caffeine, no sugar, and it's one of the greatest things you can probably drink. It actually has a lot of fiber, and it's very natural, and it's good for like diabetes and a whole bunch of stuff. Now this is a very, this year, 2023 Denver. Now what I look for on these, there's some initials, and sometimes there's an error in printing with the initials. And so I'll be looking at those a little closer on the microscope. I've actually never found an error with a 2023 yet. I found doubling errors, which is an error double stamp on certain ones. So here's an 83. This is a common penny. What you want to look on here is on the back, and you want to see doubling on the words 1 cent. If you see any doubling on that, that could be worth about 300 bucks. Now I have found 2 of those, and are currently for sale on my eBay page, which is pretty cool. Because again, those are pretty rare to find. And so, yeah. I feel like this is going to be a happening box. We already found a wheat penny, which is good. I've gone through boxes and haven't found a wheat penny. That's very discouraging. Like nothing. It was just like a failure of a box. Now, these are cool ones. 1992s. 1992s, this one's a Denver. If you look on the back and you see United States of America, between the A and the M, there's this gap. Just the letters are gapped. The one you need to find is this penny with the A and the M, the corners touching. If the letters A and M are touching under a microscope, you've got a penny that could be worth up to $10,000. Not kidding. I haven't found one yet in all my searches. There's people who put them up for a few $100, but if you get it graded and it's in excellent shape, it could be worth up to $10,000. So it's nothing to laugh at. Pennies are worth 10 grand. Yeah, people will actually pay to have a penny with that error on it. Looking at another 2023 under the microscope. Hold on. Okay, no error there. I continue doing this because I really love it. I really love the thrill of an adventure. You may laugh, but it's true. It is adventurous. It is fun to be able to look at this and find certain things. And believe me, if I don't show it to you, it's not worth talking about. Another 92. 92 Denver. So we'll look at the back. We'll look at the space between the A and the M. Space is there. Now, you notice that space, if there is a space in the 1998 in the same area in the AM, that could be worth about 500 bucks. Let me just double check that. Yeah, oh no, excuse me, not 500. Erase what I'm saying, $25. So if you find a big gap between an A and an M, that's an error, and that's worth about 25 bucks. So hey, I mean, a penny that's worth 25 bucks? Are you kidding me? I'll take that. I'll take that. And all I gotta do is look through them and check them, and I haven't found one of those either. I find those gap ones are probably some of the hardest to find. And, but when you find one, you find one. And the odds are better than the lottery, let me tell you. Because I found a lot of good stuff. I think I've mentioned, I found a $1,500 nickel, $700 nickels, a lot of good stuff. So you do find things, believe me. It's not just like you're doing this and you never find anything. You do find things. It's kind of the look of the draw. My experience is the more you do it, the more chances of finding something. It's not like the lottery where there's like 300 million chance to win. No, a lot of these, I mean, let's say some of these coins, they made 500,000. So there's one in five, no, excuse me. There's 500,000 of them for you to find. Versus the lottery, there's just one, right? One set of numbers, if that makes sense. So the odds of doing this, now I know you don't find $1 billion, but you can find stuff worth a few $100, sometimes a few thousand. Here's a 83 again. There are a lot of 83s. Remember, we're looking for the doubling in the words 1 cent on the back, and if there is, I'll show it to you at some point in the video. I'll show you what it looks like. And I'm sure the more I do this on video, the more I'm gonna find them. Because off camera, obviously, in my hobby, I do it by myself. And I go through boxes and I do find things. And I don't always report what I find. But this is one where I want to find certain things on camera because I think it's just more fun. It's more exciting. There's a 66, nothing too old. But I'm really excited if I find something old. Like 30s would be fun. 40s would be nice too. Anything older than 30s would be great. Whoa, this is a weird 92. Hold on. That is weird. So, yeah, I think it's like an error. I'm not sure. This is something that on my own I have to look this up because it's just a weird thing. So I'm just going to put it aside. And on my own, I'll just look at it. So what it looks like is, you see 1992, 199. The numbers look normal, but the 2 looks like shrunk and a little faded on the bottom. It's a weird thing. I have to compare it off camera because the pressure, not the pressures, but making a video like this, you have to move through the coins and the content. You can't just, I can't just spend 10 minutes looking at a coin, comparing, taking pictures, and I do that off camera. Not something I want to do with you guys, waiting to see what happens and wasting your time. So, okay, 5 more rolls. So we're 10 rolls in. We're actually 5 rolls in, but yeah. So I'm trying not to be sloppy and put them in nice rolls. I found that's the best because you can spread out the coin and then you can actually see a big amount. Like you can see what? So each roll there's 50 times 5. You can see 250 pennies roughly. I mean, maybe you can't see every single one, but you see a large variety at once versus if you do one roll. And the reason why I do it in 5s is because usually the rolls in here are in like, they're in rolls of 10. So when I do 2 of those sets, it's a roll, right? I mean, it's a whole row. Now this is an interesting one. This is a 1971 penny. If you find this very shiny, another material, this is dull, so this one doesn't count. But if you find this very shiny, then this could be worth, let me see, let me look it up. It's called the proof, $500. Well, no, if it has an error. But if you just find a shiny one, it's worth 18 bucks. 500 bucks if there's doubling in the year. And I have found one of those. I found it the other day, actually. I still have to look through it and do a little bit of work. Not polishing or anything, but a little bit of research on it. Here's a 70S. I like the S's. They're pretty cool. We'll just put those aside because I don't really need them at the moment. Because those are not crazy. Okay, so they're not super common, but they're not the most rare. And so I pass those by unless they're shiny. And then, yeah. And then the shiny proofs, there's only about 3 million versus 500 million. You can see the difference there. So if you find one of those, 18, 20 bucks, like easy. You post it, and I've sold pennies like that. Literally where it costs a cent, and I find them like this, and I'm like, oh, okay, 20 bucks, right? And so if you have hundreds of coins like this, and you sell them, you can make some money. I'm just saying, so that's why people like myself do it. It's a fun hobby. You don't have to do it to sell. Some people do this just to collect and have a collection, which technically I do. I have a coin collection. I can show you what I have someday. But for now, we are just searching. Hope you're having fun. Don't forget to like this video if you are having fun. If you want to see more, ask me in the comments if there's something you'd like to see, a certain denomination. I would really like to get some half dollars, big ones, big coins, and those are Kennedys, and sometimes you can find them in silver, and those are really cool. I'm looking up a 95. Oh yeah. So sometimes I memorize what the errors are, and sometimes I don't. So in this one, 95, In the front, it says, it's kind of dirty, the coin, but it says, "In God We Trust." If there's doubling on that, it could be worth 50 bucks. And I have found one of those. Yep. I had found one of those, and currently I think I'm selling it for what it is, 50 bucks? Yeah. And the thing is, on eBay, if someone's like, "Hey, I'll give you 40 bucks for it," I was like, "Okay, sure. I'll sell it. I'll sell it." It just depends, right? If I have a $20 bill that sometimes you can find, and it's worth 40 bucks, and someone's like 30, I'm like, maybe not. Because I could probably get 40 for it if that's what it's worth, because it is a $20 bill. There's already a $20 investment there. And eBay does take fees. They do charge you fees, which takes away from the bill. So sometimes, if you don't watch out, you could be in the negative. You just have to be smart. Now, this is one of my favorite errors. This is a 1984. Actually, it's a D, so it doesn't count. You just want an 84 plain. If you find 2 ears on Lincoln, that could set you up $225. I haven't really found that. I'm really excited to find that, because, I mean, come on. Don't you want a penny with Lincoln having 2 ears? So yes, why would that happen? Well, it's the die, right? The die that strikes the coin, the metal. If it moves, or if it's just not perfectly pressed into the metal, or if it presses twice really quickly, because it's like, it's a stamper, right? It's a metal stamper. Then you will get an error on the coin. Now, there's quality control, but remember, at the pace they're making some of these, they can't catch them in time. So maybe 100, 150 go by before they can stop the machine. Sometimes thousands go by before they stop the machine and reset it and fix the error. And, but once they're stamped and they go out, right? It's really hard to go back and catch all the errors. So that's why these are worth like that. And the least there are, the less there are, the more it's worth. Sometimes they think a certain amount came in an error, and then when they finally do check it, they're like, "Oh no, there's less than we thought," and then that makes the coin just shoot up in price. Now, this is a good one. This is a 69. 69's a good year. If you find this one with an S and there's doubling, that could be worth tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the error, depending on the condition. But yeah, they can go upwards to $45,000, believe it or not. Okay, a wide AM on the back of America. So this is a 99 Lincoln. And on the back, again, United States, United States of America. The A and the M are touching. They are touching. That's not an error. That's how these are supposed to be in the 99. If you find a big gap, then that could be worth $500, which is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy if you think about it. Not finding any more wheat pennies, but we did find one starting out, which is great. It's a good sign for a box, in my opinion, because that means you're probably going to get more. That means, to me, that means when these are packaged up and rolled, that means no one pulled that out, right? No one caught it and was like, "Ooh, I'm going to keep this wheat penny." So if you notice, none of these are special that I'm pulling out. Look at how many aren't special. It's another 95, so I want to find "In God We Trust." Nope, it's all good. I have a little bag here, drinking my barley tea. Oh, seriously tastes like coffee. Now, I'm not a coffee guy, but if you are addicted to coffee and want to get off it, no caffeine, no headache, nothing, just check out barley tea. It's so good for you. It's so good for you. Okay. Another 92, not separated. We're working here. Making sure we find anything interesting, bring it to your attention. 2023. And it's, what it actually says on the bottom of the coin is V, the initials of the designer of the Lincoln coin. V, D as in dog, or D as in Delta, B as in Bravo. V as in Victor, D as in Delta, B as in Bravo, right? There's an extra V basically on the end, then that could be worth some money. forgot how much exactly, but it could be worth some money. Okay, so look at that. We've just gone through 10 rolls. One more, or that is one more set of 5. Let's keep this going. I'm feeling good. Feeling lucky on these. I think you're all bringing me luck. Let's do this. I'm excited, seeing what we can find. This is my own way of opening these up. I think it's one of the fastest ways. I haven't seen faster than this. I'm actually pulling, I'm not cutting. If you cut, it actually doesn't help much, and I'll show you why. So if I actually cut, which is what I used to do, what it does, it leaves the rim there, and it's still hard for the coins to come out. So if you do it and you pull, you yank the whole rim off, and then boom, then it just literally opens for you. See, this end was harder because I did the cut. So don't cut, even though you use a knife. I don't use it to cut. I use it, so you can technically use like a screwdriver or something. I just like using a knife because I do have the option of cutting it if I need to, or cutting a strip off or anything. Whereas a screwdriver, you can't really use it to slice, right? Another 23. Nope, no extra V there. Now it is warm. It is the middle of summer when I am making this, so a little bit of sweaty with hot barley tea, but it's fine. That's good. Use a 74S. Let me check how much that is. It's actually not worth much. If you get it as a proof, it's worth $13. If not, it's worth a penny. Not much, right? So yeah, here's an 83. It's in really bad shape, but we look in the back to see if 1 cent is doubled. It is not. It is not, everyone. But that should not discourage us. It should let us know that if we keep going, we gotta go to the next one. Now this looks kind of like a proof, but it's not, because it's a Denver. Proofs are usually S's. Not always, but most of the time. S mint marks, which means they were made in San Francisco. But not all S's are proofs. Does that make sense? So most S mint marks. Oh, look what we got here. Is that Queen Elizabeth? That's actually, yeah, it's Queen Elizabeth. This is a Canadian penny. And these are very commonly found, meaning it's not unusual to find them in the pennies. They're the same size as our pennies. 1 cent, 1976 Canadian penny. Now what's cool is I found one the other day from 51, which it's her father, Queen Elizabeth's father, George VI face on it, and that's pretty cool. Those aren't that common. And it's worth, I don't know, I think like 20 bucks or something for a penny, right? This one isn't worth much. Certain years are though, so keep an eye on them. I'm gonna separate that. So we've already found some interesting coins that we weren't expecting to find. I'm really looking forward to seeing a proof, more wheat pennies, a die error, something like that. I'd really love to find something like that. Really, really, really would. So we'll see. We'll be hopeful as always, my catchphrase. Because that's so important. I hope you're liking my other channel, by the way. If you don't know, I make videos on classic TV shows and movies. It has nothing to do with what I'm doing on this channel. I post other stuff that doesn't have to do with classic TV shows and movies. Things that have to do with other of my interests, whether it's theme parks, coins, aviation. There's, look at this one. There's like a store sticker on it. I'll just leave those. I don't know. Oh, here's another one. We're gonna guess on the year. Is this 30s, 40s, 50s? Is it 20s? 44, look at that. So this one lived through World War II. It's not worth much, believe it or not, unfortunately. It's, okay, it's worth about $5, but honestly, I don't know how many people would pay $5. I think I sold one for around that price. I think anywhere from $2 to $5, depending on condition. But yeah, I'll put that aside. It's a little worn on the back with the stocks, so it's not the greatest condition, 44, but we did find a World War II penny, which is awesome. Like, that was around when I Love Lucy was around. It was on with, you know, with Eisenhower and just Truman, all these guys were around, that penny was somewhere in someone's pocket, in someone's drawer, just in a cash register somewhere. Think of all the history that penny went through, right? I mean, any of these pennies, think of all the history, but we're going back now, so that's kind of cool. 40s penny. See, that's why I like pennies, because we already find a lot. Quarters, which I'm going to upload a video on a quarter box. Quarters are a lot harder because although there is a lot of variety in things you can find, they're picked through clean with silver. Like, it's like everyone and their uncle looks for the silver for those. Now, pennies, they're not as picked through, and there's still good money to be made on pennies. Halves, they're really fun to go through, but they're really picked through as well, and there's not a lot of silver. I have found silver on them. So I was looking at Lincoln's ear for this one. We're looking for 2 ears. It's an 84. No luck on that. By the way, if you find 2 ears on Lincoln and an 84 with no mint mark, that could be worth, yeah, $225. I mentioned it earlier. I wasn't sure if I did. Alright. But I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. This is super fun for me because, now, hold on. Let me see. Is this a 7? Yeah. So 72 doesn't seem like it's super amazing or anything, but there is the opportunity to find a regular 72 like this with a double die error, basically where it says "In God We Trust," which could be worth about 600 bucks. I don't believe I found that, and this one doesn't have it, which makes me seem like if I would look at that the first time or find tons of those, I'd be like, okay, something's wrong, right? I'm doing something wrong because there shouldn't be that many, and I'm finding a lot. Like, that was one thing in the beginning when I was just learning this. I apparently found a lot coins that were very valuable, and I was like, okay, something's wrong. And then I realized I didn't know anything about the mint marks. I wasn't looking at the right place. I interpreted something incorrectly, like if it was doubling, I thought it was doubling and it wasn't. The thing is, if it's there, the error, and you look for it and you see it, it's there, right? If you're guessing or it's like, maybe, I would say go on the side of it's not there, because you can't struggle to look for these things. If you're looking to sell it or to even make money on any of these type of coins, if you don't see the problem or the error or the uniqueness, like if this is $1 million penny, let's say, but it has to be 1980, and 1980 is rubbed off, it can't be worth it because the numbers are rubbed off, right? So you can't prove it. You can't prove it's an 80. That's kind of my point. So if you can't prove it with magnification or images, video, then you just need to pass on it. Like, I know some people would say, well, maybe, yeah, I mean, if you really know, and let's say maybe the year's rubbed off, but you can tell certain things because of the year, like certain things were done within 1 year, like let's say a 43 penny, they were actually steel because of the war effort. And so if the date is rubbed off, but you see it's steel, it could be a 43, you can get that checked out. Like, there isn't a 43 that is steel that is from 85, if that makes sense, right? So just a heads up. Okay. Gone through 10 rolls. Gone through next 5, so this is the next 15, right? Or we're up to 15 rolls when we're done with this one. And yeah, I have 4 coins set aside. I do have one just for comparison, but I do have 4 cool coins. 2 wheats, which is great. That makes me happy. That already for me accomplishes the video, because wheat pennies aren't super common. You might find them in the drawer here and there, but they're not that common. Like, okay, let me give you an idea, everyone, how many wheat cents I have. This is a bag. These rolls, they're all wheat pennies, all of them. So these rolls, 1, 2, I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 times 5, that's 350. See, you could see, they're all wheat pennies. I sell them in bulk, so something like this. Yeah, so I sell like 3 of these rolls of all wheat pennies for 10 bucks. But they're pennies that are worth not much, believe it or not. because they're not rare, they're just wheat pennies. Now, some wheat pennies are worth a lot, but those aren't worth much, but some people may want a whole roll of them, you know, and so, yeah, I got you. They're not the most valuable, but they have a whole variety roll of them. That's kind of cool. I think I'll eventually put the link to my eBay page so all you guys can come and see, support the, you know, the endeavor of coin roll. This is called coin roll hunting, believe it or not, because you're hunting for coins. Oh, another wheat. Wow, look at this. So let's see, is it something in the 20s? Let that focus. Sometimes it's not wanting to focus. There we go. What is it? A 57D. This is one of the most common wheat cents. Yeah, it's worth $1. Like, to me, that's not even worth selling, to be honest. Between fees and shipping, no one's gonna pay like $5-6 shipping for a coin that's worth $1, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, would you really buy it? No. You want to buy something. Oh, another wheat cent. Look at this. We're on fire today. Look, another 57 Denver. Yeah. As I said, it's, sorry about the light. There we go. Yeah, if I put another surface like that, it focuses. But I'm keeping all those to the side, okay? Another 23. Not an error, nothing like that. Oh, it's warm. I am warm right now. Oh, it might be time for a glove change. My glove is super sweaty. There we go. Okay, so we just found a proof penny, 73. I just want to show you the difference between that. Now, don't confuse this shine with this shine. It's different. This is just new shiny, and it's more of an orangey. This is like a metallic. Does that make sense? It kind of doesn't come through on camera as well, but let me show you that with this, how they're not the same. See that? So this is worth nothing, and this is worth, so it's a 73S. So 73S's are worth something. They're worth $13. There's only 2.7 million of these made, but you see that? So yeah, so if it's a 73S and the luster, the look is like this, it's not worth anything. But if it's like this, yes. Okay. So we're gonna put that aside. We found our first proof on camera. I'm excited. Now I have found that coin before, meaning I have in my collection the 73. So it's a 59D right here, Denver. Those are the first year of the Lincoln Memorial on the back. So those must have been so cool to come out, right? Because think about it, if you've been used to the wheat stocks most of your life and then all of a sudden you see that, you're like, what? That's super new. I'm not used to that. Here's another 95, seeing if there's In God We Trust. Well, In God We Trust is there. It's just not how we want it. And see, that's what I do sometimes. Sometimes I pick at certain coins and I go back and forth. It's part of the luxury of putting them in rolls like this. Oh, look what I see. See it? That's why I like doing it like this, because I could kind of prove to you that I find them, right? So let me just do that. 1 cent. What year? A 39S. That is awesome. Okay, 39. Again, World War II. This one is, let me show you, 52 million of these are made, so that's not too bad. It's worth about $4 in amazing condition. So this one isn't in amazing condition. I'll put it aside, obviously. But, ooh, look at this one. It's just a cool look, but I don't believe it's super valuable. Here's another proof. This is a 71 proof. So you see that? That's the luster that you want. Like, that's what you see in person, that shine, which you don't see on like this one. I want you to see how different it is. See that? It's different. But then you see an 82 and they don't have any 82 proofs. So then you start to notice what is a proof and what isn't. It's kind of cool. Okay. Alright, let's get through these here. I am going to change gloves. So I'll be right back in 2 shakes of a camel's tail. Aren't you happy I changed gloves? Alright, let's get right to it. It's actually like my cheesy dad jokes. I'm not a dad, but I got plenty of dad jokes. Plenty of dad jokes. Okay. Let's keep this moving along because I feel that we're gonna come upon either something else that's really awesome very soon. Let's keep it moving here. 91, 2018, 74. Like I said, by this time I already know what I need to pass by. And there is something therapeutic about doing this. I can't describe it to you, but it really is. Now, don't get me wrong, my speed has come with doing this for quite a bit. Almost a year now that I've been doing this as a hobby and enjoying it. But speed comes because I was a lot slower. I think it would take me like a full day to do a box. Now I could do a box in about an hour. One reason is because of the things I've collected. I don't need everything that I find. And number 2, there's certain things that I just toss, like a 2022D, not worth my time. Most of these are not worth your time, or else people would make tens of thousands upon millions looking through these, right? The whole point is that you're looking for things that aren't common, and so you don't find them all the time. If you're finding 10,000 coins in every box, that's not right. The scarcity wouldn't be there. Okay, 92 Denver. Looking it through, and there is no error there. So, by the way, my camera is on a stand. Do you like this top-down view? This is, by the way, I didn't mention it, it's completely different from what I did last time, and I think it's a little better because I can actually show you the coins like that, and I don't know, it's just a better angle, because all you guys should see is the coins. You don't need to see me, and the other angle I don't think was best, so I think this top-down view is awesome. I can zoom in, and I'll find a way to integrate the microscope into the image, or into the camera later on. I don't know, we'll figure out, or maybe I'll just show you certain images of things, but everything's appearing very well. I guess when I'll find some double die errors, then that's the time that maybe just show you the images of that, so that you can see what that looks like. So, alright, so we're coming upon the end of these 5 rolls. Unfortunately, sometimes you do have to flip these. Now let's say you look at this one and you think, is this a proof? Well, it's easy. You can look it up, 75 Denver. You can even look up online. You just go 75 Denver, and you see, is there a proof? And if you look at coin catalogs and everything, they will tell you that there are no proofs for that. So you know that it's not a proof. I've almost memorized every year that's a proof and stuff since I've done this so much. And they're usually S's. Denvers aren't proofs. Usually, for the most part. That holds true. Okay. Let's do another 5 here. 4, 5. What's cool is sometimes, if you look at the rolls like this, you may find something cool on the outside, which is kind of rare, but I have been there, I have done that. Oops. Yeah. So, nothing crazy there. I usually don't, to be honest with you, because I find that it's very rare for me to find something interesting like that. So I just do that, spread it out. Gives me a good wide view of what I'm doing. Alright, let's put those there. And let's see now, I think I have 25. So we're officially done with half the box. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, done with half the box. And we're continuing on here. Let me know if you like this format. Would you like the videos shorter? And then I could do them like that. So the benefit of that would be I would only turn on the camera when I find something. So the videos may be like 5 minutes. So you don't get the excitement or the mystery of it. You just see here, oh, I just found this, and then I'll keep looking. And all of a sudden, oh, 4 rolls more, I found this. Oh, 3 rolls more, look what I found. I think that's, to me, is a little boring. Because, I don't know, it's like there's no excitement of finding, right? Or being like, oh, I found something, right? Or to be like, wait, what is this? So I can add commentary as I'm doing it. And we kind of sort through what we're finding as we're doing it, right? So like this. Look, I just found another Canadian penny. So I would have had to start the thing. But this is like, oh, I just saw this out of the corner of my eye. See that? You see the queen there? Oh, so this is an 86 Canadian penny, and we found one. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, we found this one earlier. This is an 86. This is a 76. 10 years apart, a decade apart. And yeah, the older ones, the queen is thinner and younger, and meaning the older the coin. And they do have a different sound than 2 pennies because the composition, see, is totally different. Like they use a different mixture of metals. So I think that type stuff is really interesting to me. And why I love doing this, because it's like, oh well, it's just metal, it's just copper. Well, not exactly. Composition, the concentration, the mixture of metals that they decide to put in. You know, obviously more inferior metals for the coins that aren't worth much. And the farther back we go in there, the more the coins are worth, and we start to get into silver because silver was worth something. I think now it's about $25 an ounce, I think, for silver. And then gold, I just looked it up the other day, it's about 1900 an ounce. So it's a lot more. That's why you don't find full coins like that, because that coin, it would be a coin that would have to be worth like 2 grand. And gold goes up, so, you know, it's a little hard to keep the value, although silver is a little more stable, right? So, yeah, but silver can go up, and then those coins will be worth even more because of the value, right? Like the face value, as they call it. Face value is what it actually is. So the face value, this is a penny. But we look at the true value, and it could be more because of, or the market value, right? Which is what people are willing to pay because of what it is, or a mistake, right? Like, think about this. This is supposed to be a Lincoln, always. What if this was stamped with, like, Jefferson or Washington as a mistake? This coin would be worth millions because it's such a messed up or like obvious error, and those are the type of coins. So not everything will be in the book, and I've heard that before. I've heard of the wrong side being put on, like the wrong building on the back or whatever. Again, those are rare, but if you happen to find something like that, like for example the $1 coins, the Sacagawea ones, I want to go through rolls of those as well, because there's some really cool ones. There's presidential coins in those. If you have a Statue of Liberty on the back of a Sacagawea or Sacagawea, that never happened, except if it's an error. And that coin is literally worth $85,000. I looked it up the other day. I did some research on it, so that's amazing. I've never found one, but if I do, I could be $85,000 richer. So that's so cool. I love it. Spread 'em out. Sound like the Stooges. Spread out. Alright, so we're coming upon the middle of the box. It's actually, like I mentioned, a really good box because I've found a good amount of coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 11 there, and one was for comparison. So it's technically 10 different coins that I found. Some wheat, one proof, I believe, a couple Canadian pennies, and who knows what else we'd find. Sky's the limit. We could find anything in this. We could find a $10,000 coin right now. Like, literally, we could. I don't know. The odds are probably not huge, but it is possible. And I haven't betted this box. I don't bet the boxes. So here's a 72. This is not a proof. I thought it was a proof. 71S. So this is an example of a 71S. If this were a proof, it would be worth 10, 20 bucks. But it's just the standard, not shiny finish. So what makes a proof a proof? Well, a proof, they're actually stamped twice, but they're stamped twice perfectly, and there's no doubling. So it's just very clear, very sharp, very crisp. Especially the newer ones, like 95 forward. Those proofs are extremely shiny, extremely great shape. And they're just, it's like when you see that proof, you know it's a proof because it's just so obvious. It's just such in great shape. Let's keep the drink going. Oh, come on over here. Where are you going? Okay, so I also do like to change. Okay, that's the light I probably want. I know it's a little red, but that light is better for your eyes. And I do find, because my lights, I can cycle through. There's blues, there's like more of a yellow light. This is more of a red light, meaning like the spectrum of lights. And so that actually helps my eyes because it doesn't keep my eyes fixed. Now my eyes have to adjust a little bit to this light. And so that actually helps me. It helps change things up so that my vision doesn't get tired. And so now it's like my eyes have to be like, oh, okay, we have to change. And that helps. I don't know why, but it helps. I've noticed that. I just checked a 92D to see if there's any AM letters touching. It's called a close AM. I did not find it. These are most likely not worth anything because they're shields, unless they have an S on them. And most of them, I've never found an S with a shield. I didn't think they were that rare, but apparently they are. I don't know if people just find them, or they actually like keep them, or I don't know. But I don't see them. They're not worth. Let me look at my notes here. They're only worth about $8, like $7.50. The S's. So it's not like they're worth tons, but I don't find them. It's so weird. It's super weird, but it is what it is. That's the weird world of coins. Like, sometimes you might find a coin that's worth a few $100 and you're like, how did no one see this? And then other times, there's certain coins that you've never seen in your life, even though you've seen so many coins. Right? It's like so rare, but you don't know why. And those S coins, oh, well, I guess they make like 900,000 versus 3 billion, 4 billion of the new ones. But I've found coins that are that rare. So it's not like it's impossible. I found coins that only they made 400,000 and I found them. And so, okay, I'm gonna kind of go into the zone here a little bit. And just kind of getting my face near the coins a little so I get a better view. And you guys are looking, so I'm just kind of breezing through these. Here's an 83. I'll look at the 83 on the scope. We're looking for a 1 cent doubling. We don't find it. It's okay. That's okay. I'm actually really happy with this box. It's a good box. I'm sure you'd agree. Like, if you compare this to the nickels, and believe me, there are amazing good boxes, and then there are beautiful boxes. I went through a quarter box with nothing. Literally, I found nothing. It was, what, 2,000 something quarters and nothing. Could you believe, like, nothing valuable, nothing interesting, nothing fun. But that's the aim of the game. And so many people, they give up. I know someone, I won't say much about who they are, in case one day they may find this. Oh, another wheat cent. 52D. Let me do that. Very, very common. Nothing to write home about. But it's a wheat cent, and that's what we're aiming to find. A couple of dollars. Not even that. But anyway, that person who I know, someone that I met, he once in a while coin roll hunts. He has another job, and where he's obviously not coin roll hunting. It's his hobby. But he said he stopped because he never finds anything. That leads me to believe that he doesn't do it that much, and he doesn't go through tons of boxes. And I was talking to him, and I was like, yeah, you should do it. And he said, oh, you inspired me to go through a box of halves. So he got a box of halves, and he went through it. He told me he didn't find anything. And I don't think he was lying, because, I don't know, we don't really lie to each other like that in the coin community. We maybe, it's not that we lie, but we keep information from people who don't know much about coins, because a lot of people, they'll ask, they'll be like, where do you get all these coins? And it's not that we're lying. I'm not going to say, oh, you know, like, I don't know or something, but I usually say, oh, you know, when I collect them, which is true, I collect them when I collect enough. And believe me, it's easy to collect enough with how many coins I go through. But I usually don't just one-up tell people, here's a 72. I think it's a proof. Now, if you get a 72 that's a proof and has a double die, that could be worth $1,000. Or if you just find a double die and it's not a proof. So this one, looking at it, looking to front and the back, nothing special, nothing to write home about at all. It's actually a regular 72. It is a proof, but yeah, no, not really worth anything, because it doesn't have doubling. I just tossed a 2023, that's okay. I try to look them up, but I've never found one with that extra V. But I'm persistent, and I don't like to toss things and not look at them, because I'm like, that could be that one. It could literally be that coin that you toss, but it's fine. I don't obsess over it. Like, I want to do it, but let's say I skip it or I drop it and I don't find it again. It's okay. Like, it's fine. It's not the end of the world, because then you can't function with this. Like, if you're a little too paranoid, or if you're a little too obsessed with, like, getting every single coin and making sure you check all of them, then you may have trouble, because coins fall on the ground. You may forget what you're doing, or you may lose track, and that's okay. We're humans. I'm not a machine doing this, right? So you can't be too hard on yourself when you're coin roll hunting. It's supposed to be fun, and if you want to quote-unquote take a chance, I don't suggest you really do it much, but every once in a while, it's that cool feeling of, oh, maybe, like, you know, like, it's an interesting, like, oh, maybe I tossed something, but that's okay. It's like you'll never know, but it's nothing to lose sleep over. Because like I said, you'll find out. I try to be like that. I was like, I'm going to let no coin unturned, untossed. Like, I'm never going to let... And then one time I lost a coin under a cabinet, or I literally just didn't find it. Like, it landed on the floor amongst the furniture or something, and I had to learn that it was okay to, like, let go of it. And then later I found it, it's like nothing. So it's like, you just can't obsess over a coin and be like, whoa, that could be worth a lot, but I just dropped it, or I lost it, or I tossed it in the bin and it's gone. Now, if there's a $10,000 coin and it gets lost in a bag of other coins, and you remember the year, yeah, go back and find it. I'm not saying don't. Like, take your time. That's 10 grand or whatever, right? But if you haven't checked the coin and you happen to skip it accidentally or whatever, or you're like, oh yeah, I should have checked that one, but I didn't. It's fine, man. Just keep going. Don't. This, again, it's supposed to be a fun hobby, and if you're getting frustrated or if you're not liking it, don't do it. Hobbies are supposed to be fun. They're not supposed to frustrate you. Actually was frustrated when I started rolling these, put them in the rolls to return back, because I didn't know. I have a machine. That's all I'll say for now. But yeah, I had to return a few because they were not helpful. They made my job harder. And a loved one told me, hey, like, if you're getting more frustrated doing this, either drop, like, get rid of this machine, or do it by hand, or do it in a way that's fun for you. But I noticed I can go through coins more if I have a machine that properly can help me roll them. And nothing's perfect, right? Like, no machine is perfect. This hobby isn't perfect, so you just gotta take it easy. Take it easy. Enjoy it. See what you find. And drink your barley tea, right? Okay. Let's keep at it. So we're actually down our last 15 rolls. May sound like a lot, but look, I just found another wheat cent. Isn't this fun? A 41. Whoa, 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 whoa. 1941, year of Pearl Harbor, right? So this isn't a proof, obviously, but if it were a proof, it would be worth 40 bucks, but this is only worth about $3. I have sold one of these for about $3 to $4 once, and they wanted it. Like, they wanted a 41. I'm not surprised, right? Because of World War II. So it just depends, right? It depends what the seller, or excuse me, the buyer wants, right? Like, what if you get frustrated because you just want a certain coin? Maybe you want to give your grandpa a coin because he was in World War II and, you know, he was in Pearl Harbor, or you knew your grandpa and he's passed or something and he was in just something significant like that, or you want the year of your birth of your grandpa in the 20s, whatever it might be, right? You're maybe not going to scour and do what I'm doing because it's going to frustrate you. What if I was trying to find a 1921? I didn't find it. So you go online, you search for 21 because that's the one you want. They're actually worth about 80 bucks in excellent condition, and so that's a lot. You may find one that's a little worn and get some, you know. Oh, there it is. There's another wheat cent. I'm finding a lot, and I'm happy. Like, it's good to find a wheat cent. Look at that. It's a 58D. Awesome. And they do have a unique sound because they're remember, they're copper. They're not like the newer ones that are just nickel zinc, which is just two cheap metals. Whereas copper is worth something. Why do you think they cut off the catalytic converters on cars? I think there's lead in them, but there's also copper. And they actually sell the copper because there's a lot of copper. And there's actually other metals in there. I think there's a little bit of gold, something like that. But catalytic converters, why do you think they steal them, right? And then the cars make this loud noise. It's happening right now. It's the rise in catalytic converters. That's because of the precious metals in them. Yeah, they're really, you can get a lot of money, right? Like, these people, they steal them and they get a lot of money for doing that. Obviously, don't go and do that. But what I'm trying to make a point on metals and how much they're worth, and why, like, federal government may change certain metals, because as money is worth more, excuse me, money is worth less. A penny is worth a lot less than it used to be worth. So a penny is actually, it's worth a penny, but it costs 2 pennies to make a penny. And it costs more. They're losing money when they make pennies, which is why they wanted to eradicate the penny. And before, they were made copper because it was worth that. It was worth a little bit of copper, whatever that's worth. But now, since they're worth less, if they use copper, that's a lot. Like, people would just melt them, a bunch of copper, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's so weird to me. It's super weird. I mean, I guess you can do that. I guess you can just find all the copper ones and melt them. I don't know. But I'm not advocating that or saying you should do that. I don't even know how that works. I don't know much about melting and if that even would be worth it. Because even the old ones aren't fully copper. They're like a percentage. And so how would you separate that from the other metals? I don't know. Now, if a coin is fully silver, 99, yeah, you can melt that and just get what the value in silver. But sometimes those coins are worth more as the coin because they're worth whatever the copper is worth plus the value, right? And so if you melt it, unless that coin, and I have a couple, I have like an old quarter from like the 30s. It doesn't even have a date on it because it's so worn. But those are pretty much fully silver. I think it's like 99% silver. So that would be something that you would melt. But again, it's 23 cents an ounce. I don't even think that quarter is an ounce. So I guess you could get like $5-10 bucks in melted copper and melted silver, something like that, right? So I mean, yeah, it's something. But if you get like a bag of that, and then you can melt it and make that, I think that would be a little more worth it than copper. But that's just me. But it's harder to find those quarters and stuff. They're not too common, and most people will pay more for them. So it's less likely that you'll melt them. So anyway, hope that was kind of interesting, that conversation, because I know some people might wonder about that or wonder how that will work. Alright, so by the way, I am finishing up these last 5 rolls. And then after we finish the next 5, we'll have only 10 rolls left. And we'll be pretty much done with the box sooner than you think. And I'm pretty happy with the result here. With all of these copper ones. Yeah, copper and what we found in terms of the wheat pennies. Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Gets me happy to find the wheat pennies. Just add them to my collection. And sell them to whoever wants a lot of wheat pennies of different years. Just kind of randomized. Because they're fun. They're fun to have. You don't see them. You show your kids, your grandkids, how money was back then. And maybe Lucille Ball use that penny from the 40s. Like, chances are it's possible. Someone famous used them. It's money. So anyway. Okay, so in the box, there's 10 rolls left. We got 5 here. Let's get it. Let's get it. We're coming upon the end of the box, and I want to get something good. I want to get more wheats and see if we get an error coin. I want to get an error coin. That would be harder. It's a lot harder to get an error coin. Because I don't know if it's because they haven't made many errors or because people pick them clean. Like when they just look through their currency. I don't know. It could be a mixture, believe it or not. That's what I think. But, oh yeah. I made a mess, everyone. I made a mess. A little messy, I know, but that's because they went everywhere. I just picked them off camera. So let's get to it. Let's do this. I see some that immediately tell me, oh, maybe here's a 70S. These are pretty nice. Pretty old. I think, let me see, does this have an error, possibility of an error? Some do. There's a high and a low. Yeah, I'm going to look them through. 70S. Yeah, so this is what is called a low. 7. There's a lower 7. If you look at the 1970, that's not worth much. What you want to find is a high 7, which could be worth about $55 to $60. 65 bucks. I've never found one of those. Maybe I'm not looking well enough. Maybe they're picked through clean. Because again, some people, if they do this, some people may look for certain ones. Maybe like, I'm just looking for the high 7s. And if not, they dump the rest of the box. But I look for everything as much as possible. I try to look for new, old errors, wheat cents. Like, that's what I'm finding more. Because let's say you're just looking for proofs. Well, we would have found just 1 coin, right? Or 2. Here's a 59D. Remember, Memorial's in the back building. It's not the wheat cent, because that was the first year. Yeah, 59 is the first year of the Memorial building in the back versus the wheat cent. That's when the wheat cent was gone. Now we have the shield. I'm not that fan of a shield. It's very like meh to me, very plain. I like the wheat stocks. I like the Memorial, the Lincoln Memorial. It's Lincoln with his memorial. Like, come on, right? Let me just quickly look here. Looking for a wide AM on this 99. Yep. Wait. Hold on. Wait, what? 98 wide AM. What? Wait, is this? Oh, see, okay. This was a wide AM, but this is a 90. Why did I think it was a 98? See, sometimes, yeah, that could have been worth 25 bucks. I don't know why I freaked out that much, but that would have been cool. Because I've never found a wide AM. 98. And so I thought that was it, but it was a 90. See, your eyes start to play tricks on you. So you gotta be sharp sometimes, everyone. It's a thing. 72S. I gotta look for errors on this one. Any doubling. It's not a proof. Nothing crazy. I just flipped that off. Okay. But to me, already, and to you, I hope you've enjoyed this. We still have 10 rolls to go, so 2 more sets of rolls, 5 and 5, and then we're done. But I hope you realize how this box was a success. I'll mention the ones at the end in just a little bit. Like when I'm done with all of them, we'll just review what we found. That's fun. Looking at a 23, boom. Nothing valuable to me. Okay, let's see here. Boom. Perfect. Look how shiny. Now the new ones, I have to admit, they are shiny. But they're not as cool as the other ones. Come on. I love the brown colored ones, and there's red. There's ones, because there's like, this isn't, I don't know, what's that, like orangey? There's ones that are like burnt red, almost like Colorado desert red. You know, like the red rock, which I absolutely love. I love those colors. I don't know, pennies are special, like I said, to me, because they're kind of forgotten. I think a lot of people don't roll through them, which is a shame. I mean, it's good for me, because that's why I find a lot more, I think. So I love being like, yeah, give me some pennies. I want to go through them. They're fun. There. Now, what's interesting, the anniversary of the penny, they did a special anniversary coin in 2017. Yeah, all 2017 dated cents struck from the Philadelphia Mint have a P Mint mark in honor of the 225th anniversary of U.S. coinage. The thing was, or the inside joke with the penny, it's not really a joke, but you'll understand what I mean, is that the penny never had a P Mint mark. When it was made in Philadelphia, usually when a coin is printed in Philadelphia or in Denver, it has the letter, right? So Denver's, you see lots of D's. There's a D right there. It's super common. But a penny, almost the standard coin was made in Philadelphia, the pennies. It was like the hub, the central hub of where they made pennies. So they decided not to put a P on it from the beginning, the letter P, because it's like obvious. If it doesn't have a letter, then it's from Philadelphia. That, it's like the default. But if it had a D, then that means that particular penny was not made in Philadelphia. It was made in Denver, right? So it was like a, what do you call it? Not a double meaning, but it was like, yeah, it wasn't needed. So they just saved some time in printing and putting the extra mark on it. But then in 2017, they decided to celebrate, like I said, the coinage. And so if you look, the 2017 is the only year where you'll see a penny with a P, which is kind of cool. But then again, let me tell you, they made 4.3 billion with a B of those pennies with a P. So it's not rare at all. It's probably one of the most massively produced coins in history. I'm looking at the numbers. And so absolutely not even worth, like, it's worth to look at if you see it. Don't even worry about collecting them. They're not going to be worth, like, there's going to be so many of them around. There's never going to be a chance for them to go up. I wish they would have made them limited edition. That would have been cool. And then people would have collected the P Mint mark pennies. That would have, right? That would have been pretty awesome. Okay, we're coming upon, look at this, the last 10. So we got 5 and 5, and that's it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm excited to see what we come up with. If we come up with anything else, I want to end with a bang. Believe me, I've had many times where I've had bad boxes, and then at the end, boom, all of a sudden I get something cool. Or I just get like a bang at the end. I don't know why. I don't know if that's coincidence or... I think it has to be... Oh, a little spider. Just crushed it. I don't know why that would be. I don't know the reasoning why something like that would happen. But yeah, it happens sometimes where you'll get a bang at the end, and sometimes where you'll be severely disappointed and you don't find anything at the end. So there's no guarantee, right? It's not like they purposely put cool coins in the end. It's not how it works, but I've had that happen a lot. But I've also had it happen where the first couple rolls were amazing. So I guess that means it's just random, right? Okay. Don't get too excited, Rick. Don't get too excited. Oh my gosh, and my birthday's coming up. This is not something I usually mention in my other channel. I mentioned it a couple times. True big fans will know and remember, and I appreciate that. But I usually don't. I don't like to make a big deal out of it, but I feel like tons of people don't watch me on here. Ooh, 1950S. And it's a wheat. It's not worth much, I already know, but let's take a look at it. It is worth about $2. 118.5 million made. I'll put it aside. Keep it as a wheat cent, nothing too crazy. But it should be included, right? I think so. Any more wheat cents peeking out at me? Come on. I want to get a good one. I want to get like a 1909. Or like a really, really old 20s wheat cent. I mean, some of these wheat cents, everyone, if you get a 1914 Denver penny in great condition, $3,750. If you get a 1916 proof, $2,700. If you get a double die error of a 1917, $7,250. Like, yes, crazy. I believe it's possible because I've seen some pretty crazy coins. I found coins at a couple $1,000. I have. So to me, it's like it's only about time. You just keep doing it. Keep persistent. You might find them really early or at the end. You just don't know. If you don't do it, you're never going to find it, right? But it's not for everyone. But I'm excited to do it and show it to you. And if you just... The thing is, I see these videos, it's like you put it on in the background and you listen to me. Because you may ask, Rick, these videos are so long. Well, yeah, that's the point. So what you can do, you put them on in the background. You could be cleaning, you could be like doing some maybe work at home or work at work. Have your headphones in, just listen. And then when I point something out, you go quickly look up on your screen. I do that sometimes at work. I have like a podcast, like this phone radio guy I listen to. It's, I don't know if you've heard of him. He's called Kip Boga. And what he does is he calls scammers. You know, scammers that call you. So he messes with them and wastes their time so they don't bother us. You know, he does like a thing. And I do my work. And every once in a while I look up. But it helps me to like pass the day. It's what is on in the background. And it works because I don't need to be staring at the screen. I could not watch the screen for a while. And I'm fine. And I could rewind it, you know what I mean? So it's like this. As I'm going through them, and you hear the coins like going tick, 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 right? I'm tossing them. But if I'm not referring to anything, then you don't need to worry, right? I'll clearly tell you when something good comes up. Which we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. So, over 10 coins that are pretty cool. I'll show you this one. It's not worth much. It's a 2009 Denver, and on the back, it's actually Abraham Lincoln, and the 09s, they actually went through Lincoln's life, birth and early childhood, formative years as well, professional life, and presidency. And there's two different ones, circulation and proofs. Most of them are proofs like this one, really shiny. But if you get them dull, like this look, those are actually worth more. It's reverse. They're worth about $10 each coin if you find them in the condition of a circulation, which is like this look, just this dull, non-colored brown look. Find them shiny like this, they're not worth anything. That's what I mean, like, shiny doesn't mean good, but shiny could mean good, right? There's a lot of shiny over here. But these mostly are not worth anything. That's just how it works. 92D, we're looking for the gap. We see the gap. It's not what we want, so we just toss it. And the thing is, what's cool is that if you're actually watching me, then you may be able to spot things before I spot it. Or you may be like, wow, when's Rick going to get to it? Maybe I'm over here and there's something here and I literally haven't noticed it, right? There's a lot to look at. So if you do want to watch this video carefully, you can, that's why I made it like this, so that you can actually see, right, what I'm doing. I can even zoom in just a little bit. There we go, right? those. So yeah, everyone, we are down. We're almost done to the last 5 rolls. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to end this box. It was a good box. We'll go through everything. But we're not done. Hold on. I just tossed something. I didn't really mean to toss. Oh, see? That's why sometimes it's a little hard. Okay, no, it's good. It's good. Nothing crazy. Because it was an 83 and I wanted to check the 1 cent, but it was a Denver 83, so those don't have the error on them. You see, you have to be a little sharp on your game, because if you fall asleep or don't pay attention, then you may lose an opportunity. So like I said, nothing to obsess about. But if you notice something, you could go back to it, go for it. This is another 83 Denver. See, so those you don't really care much about. It's nothing too crazy that you need to worry about. But if you get the 83 normally, then that's what you want. That's when you want to look to see if it has the 1 cent error, which is what you want to look for. Boom, look at this. We are so fast. We are so fast getting through these. Boom. Just for all of you. Hoping you're enjoying it. I'm having fun. Leave a thumbs up for more of this, because I aim to do more. It's actually fun. And I hope to find people who enjoy watching this. If you enjoy this, well, I'm very appreciative that you're watching, that you're supporting, and that you are liking it. That's it. Empty box. Last 5. Let's do it. 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 Boom, right there. And I love this setup because I could see what I'm filming, and you all can see what I'm filming, and it's hands-free, and it's just like an intimate meaning, just like you and me. We're just chilling. We're just shooting the breeze. We're just enjoying going through these coins, doing a little coin roll hunting. Lovely weekend. Nice warm day. Again, you can, as long as you have a little bit of electricity, you don't need anything else. Yeah, you need your little microscope here and there for certain denominations, not all of them. But yeah, okay, let's see what we got. I'm excited because last roll, it's like the end. We're done. We're done. Ready? Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Without further ado, I want to do one more. And these 5, what did I find? Oh, right here. Right here. I found one. 1945, the year World War II ended. Wheat cent. Right there. So many wheat cents. Again, unfortunately, not worth tons. But it is a 45, $2. I mean, someone may want to pay $5 for that. Meaning, like, if you really want a 45, I believe in a few years, those things may go up. Because, like I said, like, they're World War II centered. And some people may want to find any coin, right, that is from that time. So if there's not many around, someone's like, hey, yeah, $5 or a couple bucks, $2-3. Okay, I'll buy it. You know, like, obviously do this, but let's say I wanted to, I'd pay a couple bucks for a coin that, you know, that I really want, the year that is significant to me, like that I want. People do it with bills too. Even people feel like dollar bills are kind of lucky. You know, like they're inexpensive, but it's like dollar bills, and you know, so I get that. It's logical. And so yeah, some people pay a few bucks for dollar bills, 5, 10. I just sold a dollar bill. It's a little old. I think it was from the 70s. It's just a regular dollar bill. Nothing crazy about it. No errors. It's just a dollar bill from 77, which is cool. Remember, that's paper. And I sold it for about $6, $8, somewhere in there. I sold a $2 bill, which is obviously a lot more rare, for about $20. Now, not all $2 bills are worth $20, let me tell you, but some are. Some are worth a few $1,000s, depending on the year and what you're doing. And maybe one day I'll go through bills. I just feel that they're a little more unsanitary, and I like to do those, like, not, like, where there's a lot of ventilation, because the thing is, that's paper, right, and cotton, and so that absorbs a lot of stuff. And one of the reasons why I wear gloves, these were clean, right? And this is just from touching them. Yeah. So if I've actually opened boxes of these where they're new pennies, like completely new, never been touched, other than myself. And so they're not dirty, but your gloves will stain metal. Like metal shavings will come off of them. So you want to put gloves on, because I mean you don't want to inhale I mean it's not like airborne. It's not like flying up in the air everywhere and it's like you need a mask or something. Like I don't think it's that bad, but I would just not obviously inhale or taste that stuff, right? And I don't want them going in my nails, and we eat with our hands, right? And so you don't want to accidentally lick. It goes under your nails, and so that's why I use gloves. And I try to use one hand to keep this one free, and this one we touch our face less if you're right-handed. And I just go wash my hands after, and it's fine. Now bills, remember, they absorb things, so sometimes they could absorb sweat and a lot of other things that aren't pleasant. I don't even want to name them, but you get the idea, right? And so some bills will feel heavy and kind of moist, and so it's like, ugh. So yeah, I wear double gloves, not double, but gloves on both hands for bills, and I usually do it in a ventilated place where there's airflow, so I'm not inhaling whatever is in those bills. Again, paper, right? So yeah. Let me just do this 92 here. Very cool. Didn't find anything, but we're almost done, everyone. We're almost done. Alright, let me just dump this one. And that's it. This will be our last dump because we're done. So, putting it in high gear, finishing off with a bang. I want to start giving my goodbyes right now, just so, you know, I could end the video. Wait, hold on. 99. We're looking for a space, right? No, we're looking for, wait. 99, we're looking for wide. We have close. Not what we're looking for, unfortunately. That's okay. Again, I want to do different ones because if I later do like another penny box, it's going to be different, right? We're going to get different things. We'll get different coins. We'll get other proofs. We'll get things that you haven't seen. And like I said, no box is the same. And I like to get them by the box. Yeah. So anyway, I want to thank you all for supporting me. I want to thank you all for watching, for having this in the background or just listening to it. Maybe it relaxes you, it calms you, the sound of the coins. Maybe you learn something, maybe you just want to learn about coins. That's why you have to be aware a lot of people watch this for different reasons. For me, it's actually relaxing. It's relaxing to look through them. And it's like I lose myself in the time that I do this, and it's super fun, right? And I love finding something. 92. We're looking for a close AM. We don't have it. Fortunately, it's okay. We'll find it. I know a lot of you, if you listen to my tips, and you maybe write them down, or maybe you focus on one or two, and you just look through. Go to the store and just look through the cents that you get, and maybe you'll look for a wide M or a close M and AM, and you might find it and you might make some money off of it. Like, just put them on eBay, sell them. Someone who knows what it is will buy it. So we are done. This is what we found. Even the coins sound different. Let's check it out. 1950S wheat right there. Very cool. 51. What is this? S as well. I like that we found so many S's. Wheat as well. 57D. These are wheats, but they're very, very common. One of the most made ever. I see another 57D. That's wheat as well. 71 proof. This is the only proof that we found, but that's cool. It's worth, let me just look back. It is worth, where is it? 18 bucks. You know, if someone wants that. 58D, again, it's a wheat. A 45, right? Last year, World War II, wheat as well. Is it 2 or 3 Canadians? 3, yeah, 2 or 3 Canadian pennies. Not 2 or 3. See, they sound unique and different. 10 years apart, an 86 and a 76. We have a 44 wheat. You see them on the back of the wheat. They're all the same. A 92D, which was weird. I wish I could show it to you. But it's weird. I don't know if there's something wrong with the date or print. I'm going to have to look it up. Oh, another proof. Yeah, this is the nicer proof. 73D. See that shine? And then 59D. Another wheat. 39S. That was cool. That's a cool one. It's not that common. 52D. Fairly common from that era. And a 41. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you all next time. And don't forget, everyone, be hopeful.